I'm Amanda from Roseborough Travel. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. We're going to talk about some amazing places that you can go to. So the theme of the day is, been there, done that, look at these. Some really amazing destinations that you can travel to worldwide, and we have some great vendors to talk to you today about them. So the first one up I'm going to talk to you is Bruce Waters from Pacific Delight Tours. He'll talk to you about Asia. And then from there we'll bring on one of our naturalists. So first up, we will let Bruce Waters from Pacific Delight Tours chat with you. And if anybody wants anything to drink, we've got some glacier punch in the back, is that what it's called? And it's essentially electric blue punch, and then some egg rolls over there as well. And then from there we'll do a switch over, okay? So, Bruce, take it away.
So, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, gotcha on that one. Nice to see you. Nice to be here once again. So, I see some familiar faces back here, some new faces. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. So today will be a lot of fun because I get the opportunity to talk about, to me, one of the world's most fascinating, iconic, historic, big destinations that the world has to offer. And it's Asia, and in particular today, China. So this is an incredible destination. I've had the opportunity to go, travel with these folks. I'll tell you all about my trip, show you some great pictures of some of the places that you'll visit, and learn a little bit more about China and Asia today. So welcome. Following up will be an amazing presentation from Oscar, so I'm not going to spoil it by telling you what he's going to talk about, but it's going to be fascinating for sure. So anyway, so welcome. All right, so I represent a company called Pacific Delight Tours. These folks have been around for 46 years, so they're pretty good at what they do. They're specialized in China and Asia. So, you know, when we look at kind of Asia as a big destination, right, it's a continent. So it's a lot of countries that are included within Asia, and you'll see in just a moment that we as a company, you know, we send folks to all parts of Asia. So we do Japan, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Singapore, the Philippines, India, but of course China at the end of the day, I think, really ends up being our most popular Asian destination. And especially for a lot of us from America that have not been to Asia yet, right? This will be our first trip to Asia. We find that generally speaking, China seems to be that first step into Asia. Because I think we as an American, just for myself, when I was imagining my trip to China, it was kind of easy to visualize such big iconic destinations within that trip, right? It was easy to picture seeing the Great Wall. I was imagining already standing in front of those beautiful panda bears, right? I was kind of picturing seeing those 8,000 clay warriors, the terracotta warriors in the city of Xi'an. So right off the bat, you kind of have this destination that I think we as Americans, and we as Westerners, can kind of easily visualize and picture. So it makes it that much easier to want to go, and you kind of already have some ideas of what your trip's going to be all about. So my map here, and I'll just kind of start with the map. So once again, when we talk about Asia, you know, it's many countries. Japan, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. So you've got Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam in this area. Japan, of course, Hong Kong. India would be over here, the Philippines, Malaysia. So you've got lots and lots of destinations that we can send folks to. But China, really, at the end of the day, it is very popular. China, funny enough, you know, I think when we're sending folks to China, and Amanda took a nice group to China with us a couple of years ago, you loved it, right?
Yes.
Great time. You know, China's interesting because I think, you know, we know little bits about China. We know what we see on TV. We know it's got the Great Wall, it's got panda bears and all this stuff. But just some interesting facts about China would be it's the size of the United States. Just geographically, it's a big country. So when we send folks to China, when they go on tour with us, one of the things that generally surprises many people, certainly your group, you know, would have done this, you fly from city to city. This is not a bus tour. This is not a tour like in Europe where, you know, Belgium is next door and you drive over. Every city in China is 4 hours away from each other. So we're going to fly from city to city. So for example, on our trips, you'd spend a couple of days in Beijing, which is in northern China. Spend a couple of days there, see the Great Wall, Tiananmen Square. You'd then fly down to the city of Xi'an, which is kind of in the middle of the country. And there you, of course, would go see those clay warriors, right? Those 8,000 terracotta warriors. You'll then fly further south to the Chongqing, this big city of Chongqing, get on board ship, and now you're going to sail the Yangtze River for the next 4 days. I can assure you, that's the most scenic 4 days on a ship you'll ever spend. You'll see some great pictures in just a minute. And then you kind of wrap up your trip by flying from the river over to Shanghai itself, and then seeing the city of Shanghai, beautiful, modern, Western. So it turns out to be this big trip, and you're flying from city to city, usually two-hour flights between cities. They have a few more folks in their country than we do. Granted, you know, we've got 300 million, they've got 1.4 billion people. And I think all 1.4 billion were in Tiananmen Square with me that day. It was a sea of black hair, but I loved it because I was the tallest guy in Tiananmen Square. It was fantastic. But what really struck me about that, here's what I found interesting about my China trip. I was going into this as just the average American, picturing the Great Wall, picturing all these things that I'd see, iconic, historic destinations that I knew, looking forward to seeing. What surprised me, and I think your group would be another great example, what surprises a lot of us about our trip to China is, once you're there, especially as an American tourist, what you quickly discover is, it's very friendly, very safe. The Chinese people are very warm and welcoming and open, especially toward the Americans and the Westerners. You almost have, I can definitely, I think you guys probably do too, you almost have, like when you're in the middle of Tiananmen Square, you almost have this kind of rock star feel about you. Because the Chinese would literally, right, gather around us and talk to us and take pictures with us and put their arms around us and practice their English. It was fascinating. So I really enjoyed that because it made you feel very welcome in this big country. Because you don't know what to expect from the people and the culture. What you discover quickly is very friendly, very safe, very open, and very warm and welcoming toward the Americans and the Westerners. So it really turns out to make just that much better vacation because you're enjoying the sights as well as the culture and the people, and of course all of its history. The weather conditions in China are very similar to the United States, because if you kind of imagine the globe, right, picture the world, you got the United States on one side of the world, China's right behind us. So you know when you were a kid and your mom kept saying, you keep digging, you're going to hit China. She's not kidding, it's actually right behind us. It's a long ways, but nevertheless. So their weather conditions, though, very similar to the United States. So when is the best time to go to China for a traveler? Spring and fall, just like it would be here in the U.S. April, May, September, October, beautiful time to be in China. The winters are cold, the summers are hot. Best time to be in China for the weather conditions, April, May, September, October. You guys, I think, went in September.
Well, in February.
February? No, you didn't. You went in February? No, I don't think you went in February.
I'm really sure it was actually great.
It was nice. So anyway, so the spring and fall, great time to be in China. But anyway, the moral of the story being, it's a big country, and you're going to fly from city to city. All those flights, of course, This is just an overview of all the different countries that we visit throughout Asia. You'll find all of them in our brochure, of course, so we'll refer to that later on.
March.
March, I was going to say, I knew it wasn't February.
March.
We typically don't take folks in February.
It was great.
So March, yeah, it's the end of March.
Cool, but it was great.
End of March. So nice time to be there. But anyway, so when you're going to China with us, we generally have kind of what we call 2 packages. We have our gold package, and that's a chance to stay at Ritz-Carlton's and get a big 300-square-foot cabin on board ship. We have the same tour at a silver version. There you're staying in Hilton's and Marriott's. They're gorgeous hotels. So either way, whether you pick the silver or the gold package, you know, it's a wonderful tour either way. I think what's kind of interesting about China, when you just look at it as a big destination, it's the sheer value of it. Because not only are you going to go to this big, exotic, iconic, historic country, right, and see all these great things, but you're going to do it for about $2,600 plus air. That's not a bad price. I mean, that's half the price of a 14-day European river cruise when you think about it. So the value going to China, tremendous. So it's a great value, excellent pricing, and beautiful accommodations, and just a magnificent 2 weeks that you'll spend on tour with us. But what we're going to see now is just kind of I'm going to kind of quickly walk you through what this trip looked like. So you kind of get a feel for what you're about to do over the next 12 days when you go through with us. Like I say, you're going to spend a couple of days in the city of Beijing. It's the capital of the country, 20 million people. Very large city, very modern city. Here we see the Olympic Village and the bird's nest. So your highlights of Beijing are going to be a few things. The reason you're in Beijing is because A, it's the home of Tiananmen Square, the Forbidden City, the Great Wall of China, the Summer Palace. Some of the biggest iconic images of China that we have take place right in Beijing. So we're going to spend a couple of days in Beijing and start off the tour. In fact, usually that very first day, day one, right after breakfast at the hotel, is a visit to Tiananmen Square. So we get in the bus after breakfast, we drive for 20 minutes, and we get to Tiananmen Square. So it's the world's largest square. It's magnificent, it's interesting. Chinese gathering around you there. We're standing in the middle of Tiananmen Square, and our Chinese tour guide says, "You realize that we're actually a democratic country?" We're like, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, the only difference in China is they just don't tell us where the polling booths are." One day they will. You watch, one day they will. Anyway, so we go to Tiananmen Square. Across the street from Tiananmen Square is the grand entrance to the Forbidden City, right across the street. So after we've kind of learned about Tiananmen Square and seen that, we literally walk across the street behind that flagpole through the grand entrance into the Forbidden City. And it is a magnificent view. So if you, I'll come back to this picture in just a second, but what you're about to do is kind of walk in through Gate A, the grand entrance. And you're about to walk through kind of, picture a big donut. Picture you're going to walk through kind of layers of courtyards and buildings and courtyards and buildings. To eventually get to the middle of the Forbidden City, where the Emperor's throne still sits today. So as you walk in through Gate A, this is your first scene of the Forbidden City. It's magnificent, it's awe-inspiring, and it's massive. So you're going to walk across this big courtyard, through that layer of buildings into another courtyard, another layer of buildings, another courtyard, to eventually get to the very center and stand in front of the Emperor's throne. To see that furniture, know that the Emperor sat in that seat, you have to admit that's an amazing day. So seeing the Forbidden City, seeing Tiananmen Square that morning, what a way to start the trip. After lunch, we're going to head over and see the Summer Palace. It was kind of here that I discovered that, I start realizing, gee, it pays to be an emperor. Because when you're at the Summer Palace, and here we see the Summer Palace in the background, but it's on the shore of this beautiful Lake Kunming. What's fascinating to me about Lake Kunming was, it's a man-made lake. Why is it there? Because the Emperor said so. I think at the footsteps of my palace, I need a lake. Start digging. Because you're standing on the shore of this massive, beautiful, man-made, hand-dug lake. And it's there for one reason, because the Emperor said so. So as you stand on the shore at the footsteps of that palace, okay? As you stand on the footsteps of that palace, you really realize what it's like to be an emperor. We're going to go see the Temple of Heaven while we're in Beijing. That's a fascinating structure. 3 temples actually are located there. Day 2 is what it's all about, though. Day 2, after we have breakfast at the hotel, we jump in the bus, and now we drive, though. And we'll come back to this picture in just a second. That's an amazing picture. We're going to drive for about an hour and a half from the hotel outside Beijing to a little Chinese village called Badaling. For my Italian folks, it's not Bada Bing, it's Badaling. So we're going to drive to Badaling, about an hour and a half outside Beijing, because the Great Wall of China cuts right through the middle of this Chinese village. It's the perfect place to go see the Great Wall. But this is your scene on the way out. So if you can just imagine sitting in the bus, right? You're sitting in that bus seat, driving for an hour and a half, and you look out the window, and instead of a golf course, what you see off in the distance is the Great Wall of China. That is an amazing moment. That's why you're in China, is to sit in that seat and see the Great Wall off in the distance, because then it's when you start to realize how big this thing is, 5,000 miles long, how incredibly huge these mountains are. You sit in that bus seat like we did, and you'll ask yourself, how in the world did they build that thing? How did they do it? It's amazing to see. Hour and a half later, you get to Badaling, you park in the parking lot, you walk across the street, and the next thing you know, you're that guy right there with your hands up saying, take my picture and put me on Facebook. Right? You want to show all your friends back home, you're standing on the Great Wall of China. That's why you came to this country. We spend the entire day there, and it is amazing. From here, the trip just gets bigger, because after we finish up our couple of days in Beijing, we then fly from Beijing down to the city of Xi'an, which is in the middle of the country, about 2 hours away. This is, we'll just back up. This is why you've flown 2.5 hours to Xi'an, because you eventually will stand inside the dig site, face to face with 8,000 clay warriors. That's an amazing moment. Why are they there? Why are they there? Because the emperor said so, right? Because 2,000 years ago, Emperor Shu, long before his own death, planning his own demise, he's having this entire army built so that once he dies, this army of 8,000 is buried with him to protect his soul in death. So 700,000 workers and artisans build this army of what's actually turning out to be not just 8,000, but they eventually expect to find 80,000. 80,000. They think that this 8,000 is about 10% of what they'll eventually discover at the Xi'an dig sites. 80,000 soldiers were built by 700,000 workers, all because the emperor said so. You stand inside this dig site, the dig site the size of 2 football fields with a dome over it. Is it my turn? Is it time up already? Because you're going like this, I didn't know my time. Okay, just let me know. So, anyways, you're standing inside this dig site the size of 2 football fields, and you're standing there staring face to face with these 8,000 clay warriors, and just like this young lady said, some of the things they've discovered about these warriors is all 8,000 warriors, and eventually 80,000, all 8,000 warriors, every one has a different face. So it's 8,000 different people. It's not just 8,000 statues, it's 8,000 different people. They've even figured out that the uniforms are different. Privates, lieutenants, captains, generals, all ranks of the military on display. In addition to the 8,000 clay warriors, they've discovered 634 horses and 134 clay chariots already. Imagine what our grandkids and their grandkids will see in 10 and 20 and 30 years as they continue digging dig sites. They'll eventually discover those 80,000. We're going to see a mere portion of that at 8,000, and it's impressive. Half a mile away from the dig site is Mount Lee. Mount Lee is where they've discovered the emperor's tomb. The first emperor, 2,000 years ago. The first emperor's tomb is located at the bottom of Mount Lee. What's fascinating about Mount Lee is, you can see, right, it's a mountain, right? This is a man-made structure. This is not a natural mountain of earth. This is a man-made structure, a mountain, Mount Lee, placed on top of the tomb to protect the tomb from grave robbers. Why is it there? Because the emperor said so. This is what you will do when I pass away. You'll cover the tomb with a mountain of earth. That's Mount Lee. At the bottom of Mount Lee is the emperor's tomb. It still sits there today. We're going to go see a great dinner show. The next thing we do after Xi'an, we jump on the airplane, we fly another 2 hours further south. Now we're in the very middle of the country. We're headed down to the Yangtze River. So we're headed down to a big city called Chongqing. We get on board ship. We're going to sail the Yangtze River now for the next 4 days. Beautiful, scenic, magnificent, majestic. I know you guys would have enjoyed that. It's such a beautiful 4 days on board ship. 7 ships in the fleet. They're all 5-star vessels. They all feature full balconies. So you've got gorgeous ships to be on. Come on, baby. Let's go. There we go. Cultural shows at night, spa services. All of our ships now feature a Western dining room. Our Americans love that because while you're on board ship for those 4 days, you're going to go and enjoy American food, right? So we like that because it's a nice break from all the... Guess what? They have a lot of Chinese food in China, just so you know. So it's a nice break from all that Chinese food because you're on board ship and you can go upstairs and have a beautiful dinner. But it's Western dining, so that's good. But anyway, you're on board ship for 4 days. But this is really all about the river and all about the scenery. If you've ever done a European river cruise, and I've done them and they're gorgeous and beautiful, this is different, it's bigger. Because what you're about to do in the next 4 days is you're about to sail through 3 magnificent mountain ranges. They call them gorges, right? The Kutang, the Wu, and the Xiling Gorge mountain ranges. You're about to sail through 3 of the most beautiful big mountain ranges you've ever seen. So the scenery for the next 4 days, world class. This is just a great view looking down at the river in the ship from Goddess's Peak. While we're sailing the river for those 4 days, we're going to stop at cities along the way each day. So it's not just cruising. It's cities along the way each day. Some of the cities that we stop in, depending more on river conditions and river height, Shibuzao, which is the home of the 9-story red pavilion, 2,000 years old. Across the river is the White Emperor City. Here's a great picture of the Kutang. I mentioned the Kutang is one of the 3 mountain ranges. The Kutang Gorge, but it's a very busy river, magnificent big mountains on either side of the ship. All of our ships feature full balconies, and you'll stand on your balcony and enjoy the great view. I mean, this is a magnificent 4 days on board ship. For me, 2 of the highlighted cities during the cruise were Chengdu, which is the city of ghosts. Someone asked the other day, is he holding a cell phone? I thought, that's funny, he does. Maybe so. Looks kind of like he's holding a cell phone right there. But he's not. He's not holding a cell phone. Anyway, so the city of ghosts was my favorite, actually, on the cruise. Did you guys see Wushan when you were there in the hanging coffin?
Well, we didn't see. There was like a hanging coffin that you could only see a little tiny.
Right. Because then what they've actually done, so what this is in the city of Wushan, we take folks out on a ferry, and we sail into one of the mini gorges, because what's left is, and you certainly won't see this many, most of them taken down and put into museums. But what you're seeing is, like this one, for example, is one of the 2,000-year-old coffins that's still there today, still suspended from the side of the mountain. So you're kind of standing on the deck of this boat, looking halfway up this mountainside, and you're seeing a coffin, like that one there in the very middle, that's literally been there 2,000 years. It's petrified wood now. So the Ba people, the people of this area 2,000 years ago, the Ba people, instead of burying their dead, they would put them in these wooden coffins and suspend the coffin from the side of the mountain. It's an amazing thing to see, because if nothing else, you stand on the deck of that boat, just like with the Great Wall. You stand on the deck of that boat, and you see a wooden coffin suspended off the side of the mountain for 2,000 years. You stand there and say, how in the world did they even get that coffin there? And why? Both great questions that they don't actually have answers to.
Is that a crucifix on there?
That actually is, yeah. This has been, like, that's not 2,000 years old. So some of these coffins have been painted with graffiti. It's really kind of a shame. You know, you just can't have anything nice anymore, right?
How are they hanging?
So they have different ideas on how they put these coffins there, but what they think they probably did was they actually had like they would put holes in the side of the mountain and put stakes in and walk out to where they wanted the coffin to be, and then they would literally pull the stakes out as they back up and leave the coffin suspended there. That's one of the 3 ways that they think they got these coffins there. They either did it that way, or they came down from the top, suspended by ropes down to the top, or somehow they came up from the river and climbed the side. They really don't know how they got these coffins here. That's kind of what's so amazing about the whole story is 2,000 years ago, how did they even get these things in place?
Do you remember the legend about why it is that they hung them over the edge?
We're going to wrap up our trip with seeing the world's largest dam. How many of us have been to the Hoover Dam? Just to see real quick, Hoover Dam. Kid stuff compared to this thing, right? It's massive. It's 1.5 miles across, 28 generators. Hoover Dam has 6, I think. 28 generators. It's just a massive structure. Because when they built this dam over the past 10 years, they've raised the level of the Yangtze River 300 feet. 300 feet. So what you're also going to do is sail through the 5 locks. And these 5 locks are where they take the ships up and down that 300 feet elevation. So there's 5 locks. It takes about 4 hours. What's amazing is, you certainly can't see it in this picture, but these locks are so big that there's usually 4 cruise ships in each lock at that point. So if you've done the Panama Canal, which I've done, and it's fascinating and an amazing thing to see, that's 1 ship at a time. This is 4 ships at a time, 300 feet up and down. It's an amazing experience. So a lot of fun. Great way to wrap up the trip. All right, then we're going to fly real quick. We're going to fly for about 1.5 hours over to the city of Shanghai. Shanghai is beautiful because Shanghai is just, you know, to me it was very different than everything we'd seen for the previous 10 days. Because everything we'd been doing for the first 10 days of the trip were really all about China's 2,000-year history. All of a sudden, you're in the city of Shanghai. It's very modern, very Western, English-speaking, clean. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous city. So a lot to see and do. This is just a beautiful picture of one of their 8 downtown sections. They have a population of over 20 million, so it's officially China's largest city. Well, this is an area that we call the Bund, and the Bund is on the river. So what we do as part of our tour that day is we walk the riverfront. We walk the area that the Chinese call the Bund. It's just a beautiful area, and you'll be thrilled to know that you'll find your McDonald's. You can relax. It's there. What really cracked me up about China was 5 minutes. What really cracked me up about China was how much they love Kentucky Fried Chicken. Right? There is a KFC, I've never seen such a thing. There is a KFC on every corner of every building in every city in China. KFC. It's the funniest thing in the world. So you'll find the occasional McDonald's, but man, you'll find a lot of KFCs. That's for sure. But anyways, you can see by this picture. Beautiful, spotlessly clean, just a gorgeous, gorgeous place. Another great picture looking from the bottom across the river into the Pudong district, which is one of their 8 downtown sections. So while we're in Shanghai, we go seeing things like the Yew Gardens, and it's just a beautiful, peaceful couple of hours in the afternoon. You know, big koi ponds, big goldfish, stone dragons, beautiful, pavilions everywhere. You're going to go see the M50, which is like their art district. What cracked me up about Shanghai was this, actually, because, so you're in China, you're in Shanghai, where do you go to find the Chinese people? Chinatown. So in Shanghai, they have their own Chinatown. Why? Because Shanghai is actually, it's a very Western city. Its history is British and French. So the Chinese people, have their own section of the city called Old Town, which of course, would be their Chinatown. So it's nice. Other destinations in China would be places like Guilin. It's just gorgeous. It's back in the middle of the country. It's very scenic. We sail the Lee River for part of the day, but you can see that beautiful mountain range behind you. It's a gorgeous, very scenic destination. Another great picture from the Lee River. The Reed Flute Cave that we're going to go visit that day. Hong Kong is another very popular destination. So we have a 12-day tour, which is Beijing, Xi'an, the river, and Shanghai. And we have a 17-day tour, which is Shanghai, Beijing, the river, Xi'an, and then Hong Kong and Guilin. So we have a 12-day tour and a 17-day tour. So in the 17-day tour would of course include Hong Kong, get a chance to see that beautiful city too. Take the cable car to the top of Victoria's Peak, take a sampan ride. It's just a great picture looking down from Victoria's Peak into Hong Kong, the harbor, Kowloon. Just an amazing, beautiful, big, modern Western city. Other places we can take folks to, we'll wrap up with this, other places we'll take folks to is countries like Tibet, so we can fly over from China about 3 hours in west and spend a couple of days in Tibet, see the Potala Palace, which was the home of the Dalai Lamas. And I guess even the Dalai Lama pays to be a Dalai Lama too, right? That's not a bad residence, not a bad place to have. So we can take folks to Japan, so we can see Tokyo, Kyoto, and Mount Fuji. So we can do Japan tours, India tours, of course. We can take folks and see the Golden Triangle, Agra, Jaipur, and New Delhi. India is a big country, so we've got different tours that we can offer in India. And of course, in our brochure, you'll find tours that offer Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. So you have all the Asian destinations. So anyway, so there we go. So we've taken our quick tour and spin of China and Asia. So hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And yes. So there we go.
Do you do the tours yourself? I mean, do you do the tours, take people on these tours?
We do, yeah. So when you're traveling with us, we've got usually about two departures per month that you'll book into, so you can pick from numerous dates from March through November. Our season in China is March through November. Like you went probably the end of March, which is typically our first trip. We wrap up the first week of November. So we've got a lot of dates to pick from. You're going to be traveling with us, the company, and it's fully hosted, escorted throughout the entire trip. Great restaurants, great hotel, beautiful hotels, and certainly a magnificent destination. So all the way around, just a great choice and excellent value.
Are you flying domestic airlines in the country?
So in China, yeah, in China you're generally going to fly either Air China, which is their national carrier, or Eastern Air China, which is the #2 carrier in China. So you're flying modern aircraft, even that, I didn't know what to expect. I was kind of planning on flying with chickens and God knows what. But it's not that way. These are modern cities, modern airports, Boeings and Airbuses and modern aircraft. It was just really very different than what I was kind of visualizing it to be. And it just turned out to be such a fascinating, friendly, fun trip. It was really great. Yes?
Are your tour guides, I assume, obviously they're English speaking, but are they Chinese, or are they Americans?
They're Chinese tour guides, English speaking. They're fabulous. I'm sure your guides were great. So they're Chinese nationals, but English speaking. And funny enough, in China they start learning English by about the 3rd grade. So one of those stories, and I guarantee you probably heard the same story. So one of the stories from one of our tour guides in Beijing was, she said her and her twin sister in 3rd grade, you know, they go to school, the teacher says that we're going to start choosing American Western names so that the Americans, as they come to China, they can communicate with us and at least have a name they can pronounce. So by the 3rd grade, the Chinese kids are now choosing American and Western names that they'll also go by. Like my guide that week, or that 2 weeks, was Jason, right? That was, he was Chinese, but his US name was, his Western name was Jason. So anyway, so our guide, she's in 3rd grade with her twin sister, they go to school, teacher says we're going to pick names, come back tomorrow, everybody's going to, you know, tell everybody the name you've chosen. So she and her sister go home, how do they learn English? They watch TV, they come back in the next morning, the teacher says, okay, so what are your names going to be? And she says, our names are going to be tomato and banana. They had no idea what tomato and banana was, they just thought it sounded good. There you go. So anyway, so thank you very much. Ni hao.
Very good. So next up is going to be Oscar Dunn. And Oscar Dunn is going to tell you all about expedition cruising. So this is going to be really exciting for you. So come on up, Oscar. Very good. So Bruce is going to pull up your presentation, and then and really quick, while that's coming up, I will tell you a quick thing about Bruce's thing, and then I will segue into Oscar's presentation. But yes, so Bruce's comments, when he said that you were at the Great Wall of China and you felt like a celebrity, it's true. Most of you in this room know my husband, George, is like 6'4" and very large, and he was the local celebrity at the Great Wall of China. And everybody wanted to take his picture, and I think Donna was the same way. You know, she went the hard walk up the Great Wall, and everybody wanted to take pictures with you. And it was just this really great experience that I think that everybody should get the opportunity to do. So that was amazing. And there's definitely things along that journey that the whole time he was talking about it, I was just reminiscing. Yes, great. So then my next thing is about what we're planning to do next, which is Galapagos. So, yes. Yay! So that's why we have Oscar coming in talking to you about the expedition. So come on up, Oscar, and let's hear about the great adventure that we'll take next.
Well, there's a lot of people who wants to go to Galapagos. I was born in Galapagos. I'm from Ecuador, born in Galapagos. I worked for Silversea for 4 years now. So 2.5 years I've been on board the ships all around the world. Galapagos and Arctic, Antarctic, Indonesia, Polynesia, all around the world. And for the last year I've been in the office here in Miami, doing some sales. And now I'm going back on board the ship in December. So pretty much I've been everywhere. About Silversea Expedition, we are, I don't know if you know about Silversea, it's an ultra luxury company, all inclusive, with butlers, great service, great food, relachato restaurant on board our ships. But in expedition we do the same, but going to amazing places. So for example, this picture, the people in the red parkas, those are our guests, and the ones with the blue parkas are the butlers serving champagne while they're doing a solo cruise in Antarctica. So that's how we like expedition. For us, that's expedition. You go outside, but you still have the butler with you all the time, pretty much. And it's an experience. It's an experience of all these places. All of these pictures, some of them I took them when I was working aboard, and the others are taken by my friends. But yeah, it's the experience of being very close to wildlife. Being from the Antarctic with all the penguins, or landing in the middle of 300,000 penguins in South Georgia, or just walking the same. We touch the peninsula Antarctica, we go to South Georgia. We have two types of voyages: 10-day voyage from Ushuaia to Antarctica and then back, or to South Georgia, Peninsula Antarctica and then back. That's an 18-day voyage. Both of them are amazing. It's amazing the wildlife you can see there. And sometimes wildlife can get really close to us. So there's a penguin escaping from a killer whale, and he jumped into the Zodiac. So yeah, it's amazing how close we can get to wildlife. But this midnight for us, we have a long day. There's never dark. It's never dark. So of course we have a lot of activities per day. We have between 3 to 5 activities. We're always outside. We try to see everything. We are always on our Sodex going around. And then we also have another destination that is the Arctic. The Arctic, of course, everybody right now. Well, today I was reading the news, and in Antarctica a big piece of the shelf, the Cirrus shelf, got detached from Antarctica. So yes, we know where we're going sadly because of all this, the weather and everything. And the same with the polar bears. Every time we go north to the Arctic, it's less polar bears. So I have been there in the Arctic 12 times, and thank God we have seen every time a polar bear. Every time we go there, we're always in search of wildlife. But yes, I know in the future it's going to be very complicated or hard to see them. Then glaciers, it's all about glaciers and wildlife. And sorry for this picture. A lot of people, they complain. John has complained all the time for this.
I do not. I have to say, I'm John Wilson. I'm the area sales director. But I did the Arctic cruise last year, and as you can see, I am not the outdoors type. But with that being said, I absolutely love this cruise. But we were on the Silver Explorer, and we were like on the 3rd or 4th day. One thing with expedition, there is no set itinerary. But when I say that, okay, we were sailing. We were supposed to do X, Y, Z. The captain saw polar bears. We went right through the ice because the ship has an ice-rated hull, and went to the polar bears. There was a dead whale. So because there was a dead whale that we were assured was probably like 150 years old in human years, it died naturally, but there was 3 polar bears eating the whale. And we were within 50 feet of this, watching this. It was amazing. And I have to say, we all had champagne in our hands, you know? But you get the best of both worlds, but to be that close to Mother Nature, and it's just unbelievable. You're so far north. We were so far north, the captain said there was only 152 people alive in the world that were further north in the world than we were at that moment. That's how far. When you look in the library where they show the ship and the globe, it was sitting on top of the world. So literally you are on top of the world. It is truly an amazing, amazing experience. And anybody can do this. I was telling you, you can walk around the mall without sitting down. You can do an expedition cruise.
But yeah, John said it's true. The only days that we can assure it's the first day and the last day. Embarkation and disembarkation. In between, we ask everybody to be flexible because we can tell you tomorrow we're gonna go to Golden Bay, and on our way the captain saw whales, saw polar bears, and then we're gonna divert the ship to another place because we try to enhance the experience of you guys on board our ships. Wildlife, birds, it's all. And then as we go to all these amazing and exotic destinations or very cold destinations, we have Galapagos. We have one ship all year long in Galapagos. It's a 7-day cruise from Saturday to Saturday. So every Saturday we start a cruise. We have 2 itineraries, North Central and Western. Pretty much both are the same. It depends. It was divided by the national park, but you will see the same animals, the same wildlife in both of them. And we have an offer that is $199 from the US to Quito. Quito is the capital of Ecuador. And then you stay 2 nights in Quito, in JW Marriott. We offer a city tour and the ticket from Quito to Galapagos. It's a 1.5 hour flight. All that for only $199. And the park entry as well. The park entry, if you go by yourself, only the park entry to Galapagos is $120. And it's in the $199. So that's the air ticket from the States to Quito, 2 nights in the JW Marriott, a city tour, all transfers, and then the local flight from Quito to Galapagos. So that's a very good package. And then of course we spend 7 days on board the ship and in the amazing Galapagos. Wildlife, again, it's a lot of, we have all our landings are wet landings, so I highly recommend to take water shoes, no flip-flops, it's lava, so it's better if you take water shoes or sneakers. You can, like that, the soleil goes into the beach, you disembark, you then can sit on a on a rock and then put your shoes and do the walks. We offer a lot of activities, so we offer long walks, short walks. This is a walk in Santiago Island. It's the oldest lava field in Galapagos. Or you can be in a nice white beach in the afternoon. So it's a lot of activities. Soria cruising with wildlife all around us, sea lions playing in the water, a bluefin buoy following the Soria. So, and then we have some days that we offer also snorkeling. We give all the equipment, you don't have to take care of anything. The first day when you get on board the ship, of course, you will be received by a glass of Prosecco or champagne. And then once we depart, you will go to the stern of the ship and you will take your equipment, and that's going to be your wetsuit and your snorkel equipment for the whole 7 days. And we also have kayaks on board, so we offer kayaking, snorkeling with the sea lions, with sharks, with everything. Sharks are vegetarians, so don't worry. No, vegetarians. They don't bite. I'm a dive master from Galapagos, and I can tell you that they're okay. They are more scared than you are from them, very much. Kayaks, snorkeling, long hikes, short hikes, a lot of activities, and Soria cruising as well. And we have nice beaches. Then we have another ship, and this is very far away. I'm going to talk very, very fast. But we have one ship, the Silver Discover. She does all these exotic destinations: Indonesia, Polynesia, Micronesia. So you can be in the morning walking in a Kaping Kamaragi. It's a atoll, it's a Pacific. Then doing snorkeling in the afternoon in beautiful reef. And at night you can see. You can walk in Vanuatu in a rim of a erupting volcano. So pretty much that's the good thing about the ships. It's not like a cruise ship. It's more a floating hotel that instead of you going back and forth, you sleep in the hotel all the time. You sleep in the ship all the time. You come back, you have your drinks, your dinner, your butler all the time, and then you go out for the experience of going to the places. So yes, it's very exotic destinations. In fact, that one is me driving that Soria. That was my office for 3 years. And yes, this is the Kimberley. We go to all these amazing places. Russia Far East. We have a ship that goes from Otaru, from Japan to Alaska, all the Aleutian Islands, all North Siberia, and then back to Alaska. So it's beautiful, exotic destinations. As you said, if you have been everywhere pretty much, been there, done that, I bet you this is one of those places that it's out of the beaten path. But yes, it's just drop the Sorex and be surrounded by a pot of walruses, more than 500 of them, at the same time, just being very close to the Zodiac. All these pictures were taken from the Zodiac. So that's how close you can get to wildlife. It's experience that you will get very close to all these places. But as well as we go to visit these wildlife and beautiful places with amazing scenery, we also visit villages with people, and we can take a little bit of them back with us. Like this is Petropavlovsk in Russia Far East, where we stay there overnight so we can mingle with the village people and we have a little bit of knowledge or food from them. Then we have one of our ships, this is Rabaul in West Guinea. We stay overnight. This is a banging dancing fire. They do twice a year. This it's like a carnival they have, and they do only twice a year. So of course our ship, we know when it's going to happen, so we go there for that overnight. The Yanek tribe in Vanuatu, the same. The warriors receive us. Solomon Islands, madmen, race, or in Papua New Guinea, the Asmat region, this is how they receive us. And they were cannibals until the 60s. There's a story about David Rockefeller. He disappeared there in the Asmat region, and it seems he was eaten by them. But that was in the 60s. Now they changed to tourism. We have a 5% policy. Only we can lose 5% of our guests. That's not bad. It's 5%. Yeah. It's always like that. No, I've been there twice working, and it's amazing. It's one of those things that you say, okay, I've traveled a lot, I've been everywhere, but every time it's a wow experience. Every time we go to a new place, it's amazing. And I was happy seeing all the guests saying, wow, like believe me, it's amazing. Bangladesh, we're the only cruise company going to Bangladesh, so we can walk in the cities. I went there last year to Bangladesh. It was the first voyage. This year we skipped Bangladesh, but next year because of the permits. But next year we're going to go back to Bangladesh. And yes, it's going hundreds of years in the past. It's amazing, all the experience. So pretty much we cover the whole world. As you can see, we go from Arctic to Antarctica, from Galapagos to Australia. And we have special ships for that. We have 4 ships. By the end of this year, right now we have 3 ships. Explorer, Galapagos, Discover. And by the end of this year, we're going to have the Silver Cloud joining the expedition fleet. We started 10 years ago in expedition, so we failed at the beginning, we learned our lesson, and now I think we are one of the best companies doing expedition. And our ratio is almost 1-to-1, 1 guest to 1 passenger, so that's 1 crew member to 1 guest, sorry. So that's the reason we can give the service and we can provide the service that we offer. Our ships, specially made, it has an ice hole. It was a specially made ice hole, so the explorer can go into the ice, like this picture. Then they drop the door, they open the door, they drop the ladder, and then you can walk around. Of course, they first sent us, the staff members, to jump in the ice to see if it was strong enough, and then all the guests would come down. Yeah. But these are our suites. All of them suites, all of them ocean view, no inside suites, most of them with veranda, very comfortable suites, modern, very nice, very beautiful, with bathtub, with shower, marble all around. So in fact, this part of the company started because our owner, who had the big ships, the classic fleet, 300, 400, he wanted to go to Antarctica one day. And he said, I want to go, but in one of my ships. I don't want to go in one of those expedition ships that I have to share the bedroom with somebody else, or my bathroom I have to share with somebody else. I want to have my own luxury there. Of course he couldn't, because you need special permits to get there. And then he said, okay, you know what, let's buy 1 ship and let's start this part of the company. So he started the ultra luxury, or the luxury ships going to Antarctica. And that's why we have these amazing ships, beautiful ships inside the ship, very comfortable. That's our restaurant. We have 2 restaurants in all of our ships. It's the inside one, 270-degree view outside, the stern of the ship. So if there's a whale bridge in front of you, if there's a pot of walruses or something, or polar bear, you can be eating there and just see all the wildlife. So you won't miss anything at any moment. And we have the grill. In all our ships, we have the grill, and it's outside. And if you see, this is a lava rock. This block, it's a lava rock, and this is a filet mignon steak. And it's the lava rock. It's heated to 400 Fahrenheit degrees, and you finish cooking your food there. So you can ask for lobster, shrimps, steak, or all of the above. So everything is included. Excursions are included. The food is included, the drinks is included. So it's not that you have to say, oh, should I ask for shrimp or steak, lobster or shrimp? You can ask for everything, what you want. So yes, it's just to enjoy, and everything, drinks, you can have wine, whatever you want. You have a butler who will serve you all the time. You have a bar in your suite. So if you want, you have something special or any special drink. If the butler sees that you like a special drink, the next day he's going to fill up your bar with that one, or with your favorite drink. So that's what we are special, the service that we offer on board. Silversea Galapagos, it's a 100 passenger ship, all year in Galapagos. The biggest suites in the industry, the most comfortable ship in the industry, and that's our veranda, 260 square feet, so very comfortable, 250 square feet. Very comfortable suites, very nice, very modern, with big bathrooms, a lot of space. The ship was built, when she was built for 400 passengers, and she only carries 200 between crew members and staff and guests. So it's a lot of space, big restaurant, the grill on the back of the ship, So you want to be outside while we're cruising from place to place. Local food. Galapagos is different from the other fleet because it has to be local food. But of course you have ceviche, you have fresh seafood, you have lobsters. So it's an amazing food, but it's going to be more Ecuadorian type food. So it's not only going to the place, it's also taking the experience of the place itself. And then Discover, she's in the Indian Ocean, she does all these amazing destinations. Beautiful ship, the same, comfortable, very nice, very bright colors. She has a small pool on the stern, and that's the grill, so pretty much you can have lunch there. And that's an inside restaurant as well. Our dress code is very relaxed. In Galapagos, for example, if we don't ask for suits, we don't ask for ties, for jackets, for anything. It's only pants or slacks and a shirt. And if you're going to be outside after 6, the only thing we highly recommend is after 6, no shorts. But if you're going to be outside, that's if you're going to have a dinner in the inside restaurant. But if you're going to have dinner outside on the grill, doesn't matter, you can stay in shorts all day long. So that's the only thing we highly recommend. Again, it's not that we highly recommend no shorts inside. And then, by the end of this year, we'll have the newest ship of the expedition fleet, the Silver Cloud. She right now is on the classic fleet. She will be transformed to expedition. She will be out of the classic in July, the end of July, the first week of August. First week of August? Yes.
Yes, August.
And then mid-November, she will join the expedition. She will be a main refurbishment. It's a more than $70 million refurbishment, where we're going to reinforce the hull to 1A ice class. She will do Antarctic as well. We're going to put 16 zodiacs. We're going to make a main refurbishment. Totally new. This is how she will look now. Beautiful ship. She was built for 300 passengers, 350. She will carry only 200 passengers in Antarctica and 248 while she's doing in between Arctic and Antarctic. So beautiful destination, beautiful ship, new ship, walk-in closets with a big bathtub with showers. This is a silver suite. We're going to have 5 dining options. We're going to have La Terrazza, the main restaurant, a relaxatory restaurant, the grill outside, and then 24-hour room service by your butler. So that's 5 dining options in the ship. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be the most luxurious ship doing expedition. That's a main restaurant. And we're going to have a theater. She has a theater. We're going to keep the theater. In expedition, we don't have plays or any big play, but what we have, it's our own staff members who are a historian, ornithologist, marine biologist, all kind of experts of each place, and they will give the lectures of the place. So if you go to Antarctica or South Georgia, they're going to talk about Shackleton, and they're going to do a big lecture about how Shackleton was saved after 2 years, and how the Endurance, the ship, got trapped in the ice. Or if you go in Galapagos, then the marine biologist will talk about the orcas or the new kind of species that we're having in Galapagos, and so on. So it's, again, it's learning of the places and learning a little bit of what we're doing in each one of our places we go. 2018, we are all already in 2018. Very fast, what we're going to do. The Silver Cloud, the new ship, she will start in Ushuaia, then by March she will do Cape to Cape Town, all the west coast of Africa. We're going to go to Santa Helena, Ascension Island. Santa Helena is famous because Napoleon Bonaparte, he died there. Nobody else goes to Santa Helena, nobody else goes to Ascension Island. A lot of wildlife up there. Then we have a Lisbon, a different itinerary, Lisbon, London. It's a culinary voyage. So we start in Lisbon, then we go to all the Bordeaux region in France. We stop in Bilbao, we go to the Guggenheim Museum. We go in Santiago de Compostela to the cathedral. We offer a walk the last day of the Santiago de Compostela, the walk. And then we finish in London under the Tower Bridge. We don't dock outside, we dock next to the Tower of London. Tower of London? Yeah. in the Thames River. They open the tower bridge so that the ship can pass. And yes, it's an amazing experience. And then of course we do the Arctic, we cross then to North America, all the east coast of North America, the west coast of South America again, and we finish the year in Ushuaia. The Explorer, she will have 2 ships doing Antarctica at the same time. But the Explorer, once she's done at the end of February, first week of March, she will go up all the west coast of South America, Central America, Mexico, Mazatlan, Costa Rica, San Francisco. We're going to go to Baja California. And one of those itineraries that are very amazing, it's this safaris from Seaward to Otaru, back and forth, or going to Wrangel Island and the Long Island up north, Siberia. So those are one of those from the unbeaten path, like nobody else has been there. We're going to be the only cruise company going to all these amazing places. And the third ship, the Discover, she does all Indonesia, Polynesia, Micronesia, Russian Far East, Raham all the Indian Ocean, from Aldabra, Atoll, and all those beautiful destinations. Galapagos, we have 2 itineraries, as I told you. We have the North Central, from San Cristobal to Malta, 7 days, and then another 7 days from Malta to San Cristobal. If you want to do 14 days back to back, both itineraries, you will never repeat any landing site. They're going to be totally different landing sites, one from the other. So you can say 14 days and you will never repeat the same place in 2 weeks. And this is amazing. It's, as I told you, with this $199 air offer from the States to Quito, I think it's very easy to get it. We are in charge of all the transfers. So you pretty much pay here and then you can leave your wallet here. And you just go and enjoy all 7 days there. Do you have any questions? That was from my side. Sure.
You mentioned 2 different itineraries on the Galapagos.
Yes.
It doesn't sound like you have a preference one over the other. What about times, optimum time of the year to go take a Galapagos?
In Galapagos we have 2 seasons. From January till August, till the end of July or August, it's called the dry season. It's like summer here pretty much. It's very hot, sunny, and then we can have a thunderstorm or a storm, like a rain for 1 hour, and then it's going to be sunny and clear again. And then the season from August till December, it's called the green season. It's not that hot, it's a little bit colder, 65, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be cloudy all the time, so it won't be sunny, and it's going to be, that's the main difference, but it won't rain. It's going to be always cloudy, but it won't rain like every day. In the first part, it's like summer here. You can have a big rain and then sunny again.
So could you snorkel without a wetsuit?
The water is cold. You could, you can, if you come from New York or you're used to snorkel, or then if you're from Florida, it's going to be cold. The water, I think it's around 55 Fahrenheit. It's cold, yeah. A lot of people, they think we're in the equator line and it's hot. It's cold because, remember, we have the penguin, the only place where the penguins are north of the equator line. And it's because we have all the current from Antarctica, it's called the Cornwall Current, and the Humboldt Current going through Galapagos. So that's the reason the water drops, the temperature of the water drops so much. Even though we are in the equator line, that's the main reason. So yes, and that's the reason a lot of people, they don't wear wetsuits if you don't want. But the other thing is that we highly recommend, because as the water is cold, we're still in the equator line and the sun will hit you very strong in your back. So maybe you think you are fine because you are cold with the water, but the sun is burning your back. So that's another thing we highly recommend for using rash guards, the long rash guards, or the wetsuit.
And you provide the wetsuit?
And we provide the wetsuits, the mask, fins, the snorkel, everything. Yes. Any other questions?
Do the animals change during different seasons?
No. you will see the same animals all year long. There, we don't have migratory animals in Galapagos. You can, at the November, for example, it's the breeding season for the sea lions. Between September and between March and January, like almost the whole year, it's a mating season for the blue-footed boobies. So there's not much difference of animal. Animal-wise, you will see them all the time, like the red-footed boobies. The big animals that you want to see them, red-footed boobies, blue-footed boobies, marine iguanas, turtles, tortoise, they will be there the whole year. There's no migratory animals coming on and off the islands.
Okay.
Any other questions? There's a lesson after this. It's a test.
It's a quiz.
It's a quiz after this, yeah.
All right, everybody flip over your paper.
Now the quiz starts. Yeah, now there's a
Questions
quiz.
start now. Label your paper 1 to 5. All right, so everybody received one of these spotlight on travel papers. So I had you fill it out at the beginning, and it said, you know, what destination drew you to the presentation. And it could have been that you were interested in Galapagos to come here, but then maybe China really changed your mind completely. It took me going to a presentation to learn about Galapagos and to learn about the Arctic and to learn about China to actually get on board to say, I absolutely want to go there. And so that's what made me start going, I have to plan a group there, I have to start going there, I want to go on these trips because I will go on these trips. So I'm super excited that you came out and did these presentations today. Thank you very much. All 3 of our gentlemen will stay and answer any questions if you guys have any questions. And we have brochures aplenty up